Hey everyone, let's talk about how to make videos of yourself playing the guitar because it doesn't have to be this hard, overcomplicated thing. My name is Bryce and I've made videos of myself playing guitar here on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Facebook, and I wanted to share with you how I go about doing it. So we'll talk about lighting, filming, recording, and some emotions you may feel about it, whether that's nervousness, doubt, anxiety. And I'll also show how I do different recording methods between Instagram and YouTube. But before we get into any of that, my biggest advice is to just start, and also to just start with what you have. So you don't necessarily need to go out and just buy a bunch of equipment. You may already have what you need, or emotionally, you might not be ready yet to record. So you can get all the gear that you want, but if you're too nervous to hit the record button, that gear doesn't do you any good. So like I said, it doesn't have to be this hard, overcomplicated thing. You can literally just take your phone, lean it up against something on your desk, your table, or your dresser, and then put it on the front-facing camera, hit record, play, and then upload. But if you want to do a little bit more than that, then let's talk about some things that you can do. So first, let's start out with lighting. So with my lighting setup, it's pretty simple. I've got this lamp behind me, and then I have a lamp right here, and it has two lamp heads. So it's a little over 6 feet tall, and it's a floor lamp, and then it's got the main lamp head, and then it has a flexible arm where you can adjust the other lamp head. So that one is facing on my face, and that kind of serves as like my box light. And before I started doing all of this, I did want to get a box light, but I had this lamp already and it was in our basement, which is where I record and which is where I'm at now. And I was like, I'm just going to use this and see what I can do with it. And overall, it's turned out quite well. I've been quite happy with it. So I decided, you know what, at this point in time, I don't need to go out and get a box lamp, and I would rather save on the space as well. So now I don't have to move around a box lamp when I'm not recording. And then I also have string lights up top as well. Sometimes I have them on, sometimes not. It really depends on how I'm feeling. But my biggest recommendation would be if you have good natural light, then I would play around with that and see what you can do with that. That was what I would prefer to use, but I'm in my basement where I record, so I don't have a lot of good natural light down here. And I just wanted to show you how important lighting is when it comes to the video quality, because I'll show some examples now with the lights on and off, but you can have a really good camera, but if you don't have great lighting, it will affect the video quality. Just in case you're curious. So I'm going to show you the examples of that now. So this is how I look with both lights on. And then this is how I look with just the light that's on my face turned on. This is how I look with the light that was on my face turned off, but the main light is still on. And this is how I look with both of the lights turned off. So now let's talk about what I use for filming, so the video portion. I literally use my phone, which is an iPhone 13 Pro, and I use the back cameras when I'm filming my YouTube videos and when I'm playing guitar on YouTube. However, when I'm recording on Instagram, I'll actually use the front facing camera. But for YouTube, I have my phone and I'm using a like $15 to $20 tripod stand that I got for the phone on Amazon. So it's pretty inexpensive. And that's it. I just have it on the video and I hit record. It's nothing too fancy. So now on to recording. So what I like to do for my YouTube guitar videos is I record the audio separate from the video and then sync the two together. So what I do is I have my guitar going into my audio interface, which is a Universal Audio Volt 2 interface. And then I pull up my digital audio workstation, so my DAW, and I use Ableton Live Lite. It's free. And then I record myself playing guitar on that. And then I turn on the video recording as well, play both of them, and then once I finish, I export both of those into iMovie, which I then use to sync the two of those together, and then export it out of there, and voila. I like using that method because it gives a little bit better audio quality. Don't feel like you have to do this, but it's just something that I like doing for my YouTube content because sometimes I don't like the sound of my guitar when it's just being picked up from my phone mic. So it's just something, if you wanted to spice up your audio quality a little bit, then I recommend doing that. But you can use whatever digital audio workstation that you want. I know there's like Reaper, there's GarageBand, there's Logic, there's a bunch of other DAWs out there. So just use what you have. So again, just to recap, I didn't necessarily go out and buy a bunch of gear just to record myself playing guitar. A lot of the stuff I already had, like this lamp I already had. Ableton was free and I had a computer already. I had an audio interface already because I used a lot of Amp Sim plugins, so I needed that anyways. And these were things that I didn't have to necessarily go out and purchase. The only thing that I really went out and bought was this tripod stand for my phone. All right, now let's talk about something that's not so technical, and it's the emotional side of recording yourself, right? So you might feel a bit nervous just turning on the camera and you freeze up. Like you could play it without being recorded, and then you might freeze up once you hit record. Hey, I totally get it. I've been there myself. To this day, I still feel a little nervous when I record myself. So it does get easier with time and consistency, definitely, but sometimes it's just a thing that comes with time and confidence, and you gotta start somewhere, right? So I do have a piece of advice, but I wouldn't suggest this long term. So you could just record yourself but not upload those recordings, just so you get used to being on camera or recording yourself. But again, I don't recommend this long term, because then you'll kind of get into the mindset of, well, it doesn't matter because I'm not going to post it anyways. So I don't recommend that long term, but just as a little piece of advice if you're feeling a little camera shy. Now, you also might feel doubt, like, my video or my audio quality is just going to be so bad, yada, yada, yada. And my biggest thing to you would just say, don't worry about that. Everyone's got to start somewhere, right? So there was a time where you didn't know how to do something, and now you know how to do it, whether that was walking, talking, reading, writing, etc., etc. You were most likely really bad at that thing, but then you kept doing it and then you got good at it. So just got to start. And then the last emotion comes with actually posting, and that's, well, what will people say, essentially? And my biggest thing with that is I too have suffered with that, where I was a little nervous to upload because I was like, well, what if everyone just rips on me? And I don't think that's a great way to view it, because yes, when you post content online, you are putting yourself out there, and you're putting yourself out there to a lot of the people that can say a lot of mean things. But on the other side of the coin, there are a lot of people that want to say nice things too. And I've realized that after posting on YouTube for almost a year now, and it's just, there have been so many positive comments that I've gotten on my videos that I don't necessarily think it's the best audio or video quality, but you just got to focus on the positives and just seek to improve something. So if you're not happy with something that you've posted, seek to make it better on the next video. So yeah, while I'm saying I understand the emotions behind it, I would say don't let that stop you from uploading if that's something that you really want to do. Just give it a try, be consistent for a while, don't necessarily give up if it doesn't seem like it's working right away, and just have fun with it. One other thing that I wanted to talk about is your performance and how you feel with regards to the content that you've actually created. So say you're playing and then you're recording, but then you make a couple mistakes. That is going to depend on your personality. I personally am fine with recording myself, and then if I make a couple of mistakes, I'm fine with still uploading that content, because I know that I'm going to continue to improve as a guitar player, and I know that I'm not a perfect guitar player and I make mistakes, and I'm not necessarily, if I was working on an album, yes, I would want it to be as clean as possible, but for things that I just decided to create and want to share with you, I don't always have the time to just get it 100% perfect before I share it with you. Or I do, but I don't necessarily want to wait. I just want to get that content out. So it depends on your personality. If you're someone that's like, I have to get it 100% perfect, then go ahead and do that. But just realize that might take you a lot longer. And that's just not who I am. So that's why I am okay with making a couple mistakes. And lastly, like I said in the intro, I just want to talk about a couple of different recording methods that I use between Instagram and YouTube, because that's where I primarily post now. So for whatever reason, my Instagram posts are a little bit more laid back, and it's probably because I've been on Instagram longer than YouTube. And when I first started out on Instagram, I literally just used the front-facing camera on my phone and just leaned it up against my speaker and then played and just recorded the audio on my phone as well and then uploaded it as is. So I do that to this day still primarily, and I don't have an issue with that. and I'm fine with the majority of the audio quality that comes out of that. Sometimes when I do record, especially like the higher gain stuff, I'm not quite pleased with the tone, so that's where I'll probably just record the audio separate and then sync it together and then upload it to Instagram. But yeah, when I'm posting content on YouTube, I do tend to do the whole lighting setup and then the video and on the tripod and then the audio separate and then syncing it all up in iMovie and then posting it. It feels a little bit more professional for whatever reason, and I think it's just easier for me to do that on YouTube because that's kind of how I started out. And I don't do that for all of my videos, but for the majority it's like that. Just like on Instagram, I don't do it for all of those videos, but the majority it's like that. So on YouTube, my camera is in landscape mode, so it's horizontal, and then for Instagram, and it's using the back camera, and then for Instagram, I'm using the front-facing camera, and it's in portrait mode, so it's vertical up and down, and that's just kind of what I use. So my recommendation for you would be find what works best for you, because maybe you don't like using the back camera on your phone, you like using the front camera. Find what works for you and just record yourself playing. So that is how to make videos of yourself playing the guitar. But remember, just start and start with what you have. I hope this video has helped you in some way, and if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below in the comment section. And if you have experience uploading videos of yourself playing the guitar, what has been your experience so far? Please let me know as well. Thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time, stay cool like a cloud and have a great day.